Okay.
All right, folks, we're gonna call to order and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you, folks. I know you got a million things you could be doing on this fine summer afternoon. I appreciate you spending with us. Thank you so much. And so I will promise I try to get through things as fast as possible so folks can enjoy the nice weather because this is darn near perfect. So first of all, I just have to comment. I told Abby, we are on a torrid pace of activities. Like we always have a lot going on, but wow, this continues unabated from last month as far as the sheer amount of activities. That's how we like it. Yeah, he said there's no question about it. It is definitely at a torrid pace. So going through past and upcoming events, I do want to get the recap from everybody for last month. We did have the Roberto Clemente Museum. We did have Vince Mariotti was the speaker who subbed for the previous speaker. I will tell you, my opinion was he was fantastic, but I'd love to hear everybody else's opinion on what they thought about Vince and the Roberto Clemente Museum.
He gave a great presentation, really good presentation. These thoughts, the little anecdotes, the story, the slides, and everything. Yeah, he did a great job.
He was. I was told he was the best, and he lived up to his billing. He was the best. I thought I knew a lot about baseball, and then I met Vince, and I don't think I know anything. Now, I did want to mention he did bring tickets, free tickets that we could give away, as well as hats, as well as mugs, as well as even grilling equipment, believe it or not. And I thought those all went over very well. So Vince, in my opinion, was a big hit. I'm going to make sure I did offer to take him to lunch as a thank you, especially given that he subbed in for someone. And he was absolutely fantastic.
He's a great ambassador for the museum.
Yeah, when he said he was giving over 700 tours. I believe him. Like he got it down to the second. So it's in Lawrence. So it's in Lawrence. Yes. So he would absolutely. You can always email and request him by name, and they'll tell you when he's going to be there.
I want to check the wine cellar.
Yeah. There's a wine cellar involved.
Oh, yes.
All right, so very good. Again, many thanks. We had a sold out crowd again. Thanks for all the volunteers again helping out. It was fantastic. So thank you, folks. All right, going right again, talking about selling sold out crowds. This Thursday, the Harmony Line Trolley. I am really looking forward to this. And if I understand correctly, Abby, like the registration is correct? The registration.
Yeah, filled up probably 2 weeks ago. So I capped the registrations online at 42. So we filled up to 42 and we have a wait list of 8 people. And I've gotten a couple calls this week too, wondering if people have dropped out. Unfortunately, no one has dropped out, so we'll have a full house again tomorrow. So Scott Becker, the former executive director of the PA Trolley Museum, as well as Bill Bronzik, former ophthalmologist, I believe, full-time trolley enthusiast. He just wrote a book about the Harmony Line and some rail systems throughout southwestern Pennsylvania. So he'll be here tomorrow with some copies of his books available for sale. They'll be here tomorrow to discuss the Harmony Line through the North Hills, as well as the transfer of the Wexford station to the Trolley Museum in Washington, PA.
Wow.
So it should be fantastic.
Now, what help do you need on getting set up? So I can be here tomorrow. I can get here if you need help with setup. If not, go for
30. Rich said that he was gonna come in tomorrow afternoon and set up chairs. As you know, we've got some construction going on the driveway here. They're expanding the road to make it 2 lanes in and out, which will be fantastic on Community Day. So they have been working on that from 7 to 3 each day this week. So the Heritage Center will be closed this week while they do that construction. But we will be we're obviously open now, and we'll be open tomorrow evening for that presentation. So I'll get here at 6:30. He's coming with a jump driver, a laptop. So we should be good to go. So thank you to Rich for coming in and setting up those chairs.
And I'll have a laptop as well, just in case of the backup in case.
Okay.
Good, very good. All right, and then moving on, because again, continuing on with that is on Saturday. So again, this is just Thursday, we're having the talk. Then on Saturday, the tour of the Pennsylvania trolley moves. And there's no transportation there, correct? Is that meet there? Unfortunately, I cannot make that. So I'm disappointed in it. But that sounds like a great fun.
That. So we have 5 spots left. If anyone would like to do that. We'll be there at 10 a.m. For a behind the scene deluxe tour, they call it. And it should be a wonderful time.
I do love it's back to back where you get the theory and then the practical, like you get then the hands-on. See how cool is that? Like, I'm disappointed I will not be able to make that, so I'm getting lots of stories back from that one. That sounds great. All right, then moving on. Not done yet. So a week after that, then we have on Saturday, the 27th, another one I'm really excited for, which is the appraisal fair in partnership with the Heinz History Center, which I am very much looking forward to. I'm signed up for it. I have family members signed up for it. The website worked perfectly for me, and being able to get it in there and get credit card info in. So I am looking forward to that on the 27th. Is there any help you need on that right now? Or are we gonna, as we get closer, if maybe some
Get things set up to decide, I think.
I talked to the librarian over at Shaler and they've done that program a
Yeah.
couple of times before, so she
And
gave me
Anne will
some
be
hint
here.
about how to set up the tables and how you arrange things to sort of get the queue going. Because each person from the Heinz History Center has sort of a different expertise. So Bob, who's coming, is like the sports guy, so not to say that he can't look at something else,
Right.
but if that person brings in something related to sports, they're probably gonna wanna talk to Bob. So I'll think about how the room should be set up. I'm thinking we just sort of set up tables in the perimeter, have a table maybe for people to put their stuff down once they come in, maybe have a couple chairs to sit while you're waiting.
Yeah,
But I'll work on that. And Anne said that she would be here that day and she's helped at the Shaler
yeah,
one too. So
and I'm willing to help out. Quite frankly, I've been looking forward to this. I know we've been talking about doing it for a long, long
all
time.
right.
Now actually doing it, this is pretty cool. Like, this is super cool. Everybody's been saying this is a great location to do that. I agree. Let's see how it goes. So again, I tried out the website, everything looks fine. People want to sign up, fine for me. I'm betting we will have some people show up though who did not sign up, so we'll have to figure out how to deal with that. When that happens.
There's something on the homepage now that takes you directly to that. I was trying to find the page to register to.
there should be, I think I had
Was it
someone
like-
ask me that,
teaser?
because they couldn't find it,
Yeah.
and I think I have to do that, but I can check.
That, the other thing is about people paying, the ones who haven't signed up, I imagine you're paying. Or are you paying online? Yeah, you probably are.
If you sign up online, you have to pay up.
Right,
Yeah.
and
But we can have some payments at the door, we can
Okay.
just take cash.
cash.
But I'm telling everybody who plans to come, obviously this is our version 1. And so we'll be figuring it out as we go along. Everybody's excited. Like, they're all like, this is super cool. Everybody's got something super cool to bring. That's probably worth millions, of course. So, of course, it's been in their garage for decades, but it's worth millions. So, myself included, of course. So I'll be bringing some stuff with millions, I guarantee. I am really looking forward to that. If there's any other help you need, though, please let us know. And then I do have some bad news and good news for the speaker next month. So we did have Steve Cicero scheduled for the history of Route 19. Unfortunately, Steve did have a family issue come up, but because Steve Cicero is Steve Cicero, he said, I got you somebody to replace me. And he said, it's somebody who's really good. And talking with this person, I think Steve is correct. So I appreciate Steve doing this. It's a person named Bill May, who is a specialist on the Biddle Boys, and the whole story on that. So I do have a story up there from Butler County. So he's a historian in Butler County. He's given speeches everywhere on this, including the Heinz History Center. And he seems like the absolute real deal. So he has sent us his little abstract, and it reads like a thriller, like you can't believe it. So I am looking forward to that in July. So we're continuing on that. I appreciate Abby adjusting on that and making the flyer and everything, because I know that was something we didn't expect. But I do want to say Steve Cicero is a real standard guy for adjusting, because I did tell him, yeah, stuff comes up. You know, we would figure out a plan B, we would figure that out, he figured it out for us, which I. And so that's on July 16th. And then on Saturday, July 25th, because again, we just keep rolling here, the scanning day. So,
Oh, well, we really have them.
yeah, so is that still, that is again, another thing we've been discussing, I think we're actually doing, correct? We're actually doing it,
And that's what, July?
July 25th, which is a Saturday.
Amy and I, this Friday, discussed the details. She sent over the whole workup of the way things should work. So we'll just get the stamps. We can do that. We can do that.
Thumbs up with the library's gonna help out their last flatbed scanner. And the other one they have has to run on that computer that has to be on that
Okay.
network, so.
We have at least 2 scanners, mobile scanner here.
That could be, it just depends on who we have.
Okay.
Would be. What is scan for?
Would you like to?
We're inviting people who have old photographs of McCandless to bring them in, sign the waiver, scan the pictures, so they stay in custody of their with pictures. But then we have scanned images that hopefully we can get added into the historic Pittsburgh collection, we can use here, you know, for exhibits and things, and post them on Facebook and all those wonderful things that can do now with the history. But the beauty of it is, we just need to scan the pictures and get as much information and about the picture, but they get to keep their pictures. We're not asking them to donate their picture. What time is that? No, do we?
I'm not sure. I don't think they said it. TBD.
And I do have to give a shout out. If you notice, the theme is stuff we've been talking about is we're doing. Like
Yeah.
that's, I really give like lots of version 1.0 stuff. I just give this group tons of credit.
Needs more stuff to make, you know, set it up, I think. To separate the information gathering from the actual scanning and help things to flow a little bit better for us. So, you know, we'll have a worksheet to capture this information as we can about the images and who's in them and they can take it.
We can have like an individual paper or,
Yeah, I have a blank form, but because they actually have to sign and say, I give, I'm gonna give, okay, post these online and these things. As we need.
I think I'm officially exhausted. So it's like that is a giant list of stuff. All right, I am gonna move on then to just public comment on the agenda items. Is there any agenda item people want to bring on? Oh, and we just finished talking about the scanning party.
So what's skin break?
A lot. But if there's anything else you want to talk about. But is there anything else anybody wants on the agenda that was not there? If not, as always, you can throw it in there. As far as the approval of the previous meeting minutes, I did take a look at them. To me, that adequately represented what we discussed last time. I'm good with it. So I just wanted to move to see, is there anybody or are people okay? Do I get a motion to approve the minutes? Oh wait, that's no, we need, go ahead, Joe.
There's boo-boo way at the bottom about previous minutes, and it says February.
Whoa, way out of date.
Oh, right.
Thank you.
Thank you, wow, you did.
And
You do, you win. You win. Thank you.
So now. You can say it, motion to approve.
Motion to approve pending that. Kevin, do I have a second? Good, Jim, thank you so much. All right. Thank you. All right, the gala still scheduled for Friday, November 6th at the Camelot. And there's gonna be a subcommittee meeting right after this. All right, then reports and updates from committee. All right, the marketing and communications, the social media side. Again, seems to be on fire, at least I love all the stuff that's there. I'm not sure if you wanna go through any updated stats.
Yes, I do. Last month we had 236,400. Yeah, views which was up 31%. We had 139 new followers. And our content interactions, which is like likes and comments, was at 2,300. That's up 29% from the beginning. I asked Liz, in looking at the analytics, they give you so much information, but I don't really understand what it means. So there's reach, there's likes and reactions, there's shares, views, viewers, and then a whole bunch of other analytics that you can look at on the back end of Facebook. So I think that likes and reactions are the most, or engagement in general, is the most important metric to look at. So our post with the most likes and reactions was the post about the Zayre's Halloween shopping bag surprise.
Oh my God.
And at 186 likes and reactions and 4 shares, and it had a reach of 5,528. Number 2 was the Throwback Thursday to NA Schools, which was, I believe, the cover of the annual calendar that they sent out in 1964. It had 128 likes and reactions and 10 shares, with a reach of 13,595. Number 3 was the image of the flyer for the Trolley Museum, actually, Trolley Museum presentation, with 120 likes and reactions, a reach of 12,035 and 14 shares. Number 4 was the then and now image from the 2001 history book, 114 likes and reactions, 7 shares, 8,357 reach. And number 5 was an image of McKnight Road down in Ross Township, showing the old Value City, which is where like the old Joann's was. 97 likes and reactions. This had a reach of 21,770 people and 3 shares. So it's very fascinating what people like to engage with, and also just the views that these things get. It's quite impressive. I mean, there are tens of thousands of people that are viewing our Facebook posts at any one time. So
To me, it's an absolutely huge force.
Yeah.
It's gigantic.
I'm shocked to think.
yeah.
I mean, I know it takes work and effort to be able to post stuff, schedule it out. You do a great job. Absolutely great job. So thank you so much. Everybody's involved in being able to do that. And I assume Liz is assisting some with this, or is she still too early to be able to assist?
She's social.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
So
Yes.
what she had said was that to increase what, the momentum that we already have.
Have you been picking the items to put on, or have you?
And actually, most of them have been, I don't know if I should admit this, but they've been copy and paste from like 3 years ago.
Oh,
So,
okay. He's
yeah,
getting a lot of.
I mean, they're old, so it's not like it's people coming up next to each other on our feed. But they've got
was
so
worried.
much more engagement than they did 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it saves me a lot of time because
I
all
was
I
gonna
have to do
say.
is hit duplicate. So,
No, very good. Okay, any other questions on that? Okay, thank you so much. That's huge. They're just, I just think it's such a force multiplier. It's fantastic. All right, from a budget standpoint, I don't think there's anything new this month. So from a budget standpoint.
actually, the only thing I bought was this clicker for 15.
All right, good. All right, from an outreach standpoint, not sure if there's anything else you want to mention with outreach. I don't know if you want to talk about the Vincention stuff just yet, from an outreach standpoint, is this the right point?
I went to, did I tell you that? I went to Vincention, Harris Place
Oh, very good, all right.
for a visit and met with their, activities director. And, told them about the programs that we do here at the Heritage Center, about, if they'd like to bring over a shuttle bus, of folks for a tour sometime, or, if we can do some sort of presentation over there. They seem to have a very active community, and they go on different little, visits, they go out to dinner. things like that. So I think that that would be their community that would most benefit from, coming over here.
There is one I know from that we had when I was at Concentra that's still living, because she came to our class reunion. But she lived at the terrace place,
Oh, okay.
Sister Rita.
Mhm.
I guess she was the first year in her. When she went into convent, so I know she's available. I have her number. I'll have to go to. She came to our reunion. She still drives and stuff, so she's,
Great.
that's where but she was from Concentra, but that's where we're.
I hope we can get some people in because we have so much stuff.
Yeah. Maybe also following that, as you can see, we have a display put up by the Sisters of Divine Providence in La Roche. So they came on June 1st and set up this display for us. It's fantastic and it'll be on display until the end of August. They plan on bringing over a number of their sisters and people from La Roche to take a look at this. So if they have a group that's coming, I'll certainly let you know. We're not.
I think the display is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I absolutely love the display. Great job. Great job. Yeah.
Are there the number of people who look at everything? Are you sending that to people of other volunteers get that information?
What information?
The information of how many viewers we have on Facebook, things like that. The one things that you just read before.
Yeah.
I just think they would be so interesting and I don't know if they have to look up the minutes, if that's in the minutes.
It
or-
is in the minutes,
Okay.
and I do send the minutes and the meeting agenda to all the volunteers.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing.
it is.
Yeah. I think it'll only get more, go along. It's just gonna grow. All right, anything else on the outreach?
So I was thinking in my head, when we shut down, like maybe if we would have an open house when we open back up again. And then we can talk about who we are, what we do here, how we do it, because maybe some people don't know how we do it. What kind of things we're looking for and why we do it. Just sort of like kick off this momentum that we have from all these programs. And if you have the Thursday night programs done, we can.
I'm talking like for next March.
Yeah, whenever we open up again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I like that. That's a great idea. Could talk about the improvements that we're like.
No, not next week. No,
Yeah.
I'm like, hopefully, just to
yeah.
idea.
send it out all to the community.
Great idea. That is a great idea. Could actually use the presentation that you give to the. council.
Volunteers, or to the volunteers. Some of that stuff.
That's a good idea.
And to dovetail on Suzanne's thought, excuse me, I had suggested to Abby, maybe once a month, we have a 1 hour volunteer meeting, like probably on Wednesdays.
Yeah, yes.
Because there's so many people here, and that would be a really good opportunity to include these kinds of statistics.
I love those. I mean, I would think they would give it 100,000 or something.
Yeah, it's huge range. Right, on the programming side of stuff. I know we're thinking, to me, I think it's one of the biggest successes for having such good programming was you getting out the calendar way in advance and adding as you go along and doing the social media and doing all that. So I know we said for next year, you're thinking, let's try and get that done by end of summer or fall, at least get some stuff together. So I don't think right now, but looking to finalize
Start
that.
thinking about speakers that use that point.
So I have a list, I'll get that to you of just potentials, like not saying do it, but just here's the potentials. that we have and-
And I have a list for you for I spoke to Paul White from the Richland group. And they apparently get hundreds of people to come to their events. And
Or is it the couple that's?
no, that's another.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, that was the one, it was a couple,
Yeah.
but anyway, he does presentations, but on the Underground Railroad. There's a lot more homes over there, in the Underground Railroad. We have one on Inglemoor Road. But I didn't know that we had a whole bunch of them here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that's fascinating.
Suzanne and I also met with the gentleman who lives in the home on Inglemoor Road, and we talked about doing a presentation, a Saturday afternoon presentation with him, probably in October or November. I can't
I
remember.
think it was October, yeah.
October. So.
This October?
Yeah,
Oh, fair.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll
Right.
put together some more information. But it should be October, Saturday afternoon.
That'd be a great try. See how that goes. Great to see how that moves.
That house up there was so.
There's a home on Inglemoor Road, that was a part of, you know,
Wasn't
Q-
it?
Well, the Kuhn, owned by the
owned by the Kuhn
Kuhn,
family.
yeah.
And it was built using bricks that they fired across the street on Inglemoor Road, so
There was no Inglemoor Road.
that's where the brick. Oh, this is the home, if you're going towards Inglemoor, on the right-hand side, the brick house with the blue door.
And it has a blue door. You live across the street. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, there's quite a few of them around, I'm seeing. But he has lived there for 20 years.
Yeah.
More.
He was
probably
a
40.
professor at CCAC and.
Was
Pitt.
it Pitt?
Pitt.
Yes, and he has
So-
contacts at Pitt.
Okay.
Pretty good. All right, anything else? If not, I'll move on to volunteers next. So just from a volunteer standpoint, I'm not sure any updates you want to give Suzanne or anybody else from a volunteer perspective who continue to do an absolute bang up job. Like, I mean, outstanding, absolutely outstanding.
We're doing a lot of straightening up, get things listed, all that, back to old stuff that we did when they came in here. And we have a new volunteer who foolishly offered to go through all the newspapers. And that's Jim Vinsky.
This Jim.
Separate connection.
Look carefully, that's all. You read paper. It's interesting. Well, if nothing else, it's the app. I have a lot of old life magazines, 30s and 40s. The ads are just amazing.
Yeah.
That's what I find. Not just the price of what the styles are and this and that. That's the best part. Looking for.
No, we don't. That would be wonderful. We could be open Sunday then. When do you want to start?
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. Right, anything else from a volunteer perspective? All right, so moving on to operations next then, the McCandless 175 committee. So I know that's Kevin and Abby.
Big race coming.
July. 5K at Boathouse North Park.
So
That's what we've been working on.
awesome. Very good. And then I'm gonna move on next to discussion about potential software. I know Meg, you were taking a look at this, potentially software to catalog and track some of the permanent collection objects. I don't know if you have an update or not to this.
Should I do? First of all, provided to Abby and our intern a list of 102 organizations that seem to be in some way similar to us. In other words, they had a collection and they had people who come and see it. That was kind of the criteria. So they're working on reaching out to those organizations and finding out if they use software, what is it, et cetera. On a different tangent, I was able to take a look at the quote unquote old laptop. And it has software on it called MuseArch, MUSARCH. It was written by an individual. And he has since, I'll use the word retired, he no longer supports it, updates it, anything like that. So there's no opportunity to,
Yeah.
go back and get a newer version. What he did create is a very nice package. It had a lot of features in it that I could see would be useful in our situation. It also had,
I'll call them lookup tables of information that we will have to think about when we do require a package, decide what values we want our lookup tables to include. So for example, there's a table called categories. Categories means simply, is it an audio acquisition? Is it art? So those are probably pretty typical, and we would go with maybe what they had in the past or whatever the new software might suggest. But things like location, we're talking about doing barcoding. So we'll have to be very customized in our locations. We could go to really high level and say upstairs, downstairs, on level. But that wouldn't be helpful, I don't think. So we'll have to be a little more discreet when we decide what the locations are. And when we're talking about downstairs, we'll have shelving units and then maybe individual shelves on individual shelving units. So that's a lot of thinking that we have to do about how we're going to handle our collections and how we're going to store them.
Are we going to use that computer? Was it from 2016?
It's very old, I think
Yeah.
it's Windows 7.
It's not
Yeah, something like that.
operating.
Definitely not.
Supported. No, as a matter of fact, for things, it's 1970.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that happened, but you look from. I was able to get the database and extract it into an Excel spreadsheet. So Suzanne, we can go through it and look at the individual items. There's a little over 1,000. And I also put it into a CSV file, which is so we can migrate. So we're in a good spot. All we have to do is decide on package. We will have to have new hardware. And a new laptop or desktop, whatever we decide. Plus we'll need the barcoding equipment, both the printer, so we can sticker things. And then the readers, like you see in the retail settings, so that we can read the barcodes. So that's where we are.
I can also send a webinar, I found it the other day, about organizations who are going to go to this kind of digital asset management and what to think about, just to give you some background.
Great. Is that what you sent me earlier today?
No, it's that organization, but they do have, it might be in there.
Okay.
But I'll send it again to anybody. Definitely send it to you. They're very, that organization that does it, they're, this is what they do. Actually, there's a whole bunch of webinars that the volunteers watch that maybe on a Wednesday, do a lunch and have a webinar. To talk about that, because I think that's a great idea.
Meg, I really appreciate you doing this. I think this is gonna become more important to get everything digitized. As we move forward using more artificial intelligence stuff that people can query. I mean, you can't do that unless you have it digitized, like it doesn't work, like there's nothing to
We're
query.
so lucky to have these.
Yeah, so
With access.
it's, again, gonna become only more important, so thank you for
Yeah.
playing.
We have the budget, I mean, in place to support everything that they're doing.
Not this year, but we can come up with a full proposal of here's how much it's gonna cost, here's what we're gonna do, here's how we're gonna use it, here's what's gonna benefit us. And put
I
that
think that should be.
in the proposed budget for next year.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You can't do anything without a budget, maybe. Something, you never know, if we know what we're doing.
I think it's quite why we're here is to raise money to do. That just got on with that. Use your social media statistics.
Yeah, there you go.
Totally agree.
And any visitor, like the one day there were 7 people here. It's overwhelming.
Totally agree.
But to lay your fears about at least part of the cost. This type of software tends to be relatively inexpensive. I've looked at. Yeah.
Right, we should do it properly.
For the packages, I've seen them. $500-600. They're not terribly expensive. Is it a one
thought so.
purchase? It's a subscription, that's an.
It ends up being a subscription on a yearly basis. I don't think so,
Just for initial.
for the initial.
Yeah, and it depends on how much. Support. Offer, the more support you want, the more the higher the.
I'm familiar with something that sounds very just for this particular application. Not for me.
And so I do think that will inform even more projects then, if we have everything digitized or a good chunk of it. I mean, you got lots of projects you can do that with that, because to query that.
Well, yeah, we have to think about what.
Correct.
Hide everything, but collapse it.
Yes,
But digitize it.
yes, may I start with just this,
Right.
just, you
And then we could
know.
build on.
Agree.
Items, if you would be going out to, like, say, the nursing, okay, you want to take some items with you. Those items would charge, because they're going to be leaving premises. That would be, would definitely fall.
Very good. All right, I'm gonna move on to number 9, just public comment and any non-agenda items, anything else, basically anything else everybody wants to talk about today. Again, we've been on a tear on a bunch of activities, so I know everybody's exhausted by going through everything, but anything else that anybody wants to talk about today?
Better bullpen pitchers.
Yeah, we can't comment, even Vince Mariotti can't help us out on that. Right. Yeah. Okay, I just want to say again, thanks. We have had an absolutely bang up year here. I mean, absolutely fantastic. We're only midway through. So we've got really great stuff coming up this next month and next month. So again, thanks all volunteers. Thanks for taking your time. Do I have a move to adjourn? Motion to adjourn. Okay, motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Suzanne, second. All right, thank you, folks. We are adjourned. There will be a subcommittee meeting.